So, how did he like the movie? 1 to 10. 10 being the best, obviously. Oh, okay. Not bad. Nice. I thought you were gonna fall asleep like 30 minutes in, to be honest. I kept peeking over to make sure your eyes were open and everything. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time it's happened. Plus, we're both really tired tonight, so I wouldn't have blamed you. But thank you for watching it with me, baby. It means a lot. I love you. What's that? That was your favorite part? Nothing. I just find it kind of funny. It used to be my favorite part too. It just changed with time, ironically, I guess. I guess so, yeah. I do love the idea that they knew each other for so long. I think that's really sweet, and that they got to grow up with one another, but there's something about how destiny brought them together later on that's really beautiful, I think. Don't ask me that. Because those are really hard things to choose between. Babe, you're asking me if I could have met you sooner. Would I have done that, or would I have preferred to meet you at the time we did meet? Really think about that. Yes, I definitely have, of course. I watched this movie like 100 times. It's definitely crossed my mind. Ideally, of course, I would have wanted to meet you sooner. Of course. That means more time knowing you and more time of you knowing me. Just more time spent together. Who wouldn't want that? Less time spent alone, or worse. We could have saved a lot of heartbreaks and unfortunate situations. Probably. Maybe. Maybe. But that's just what we think. That's what we hope. The reality of it is that we don't know. You know me now as the person you want to be with, right? But I wasn't that even just like 5 years ago. I was kind of an ass with a chip on my shoulder, I guess. I wouldn't have wanted you to meet me like that. Meaning, we had to go through different things by ourselves and with different people to become the people we are now for ourselves and for one another. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think about all the what ifs. What if we met sooner, but then that messed other things up in our lives? Or we met too soon, then messed up on each other? I don't know, I just know I'd really regret meeting you before I was ready and able to keep you. If I lost you, I'd have to carry that forever. Then there would be no way for me to live happily if in this huge world I'd somehow gotten lucky enough to meet my person, and then in some twisted timing thing I would have ruined everything between us. I'm not saying I would, I'm just saying it happens all the time between people, and I don't trust that I would have known what to do with you then like I do now. That I'd know when to be gentle and when to be persistent, or when to strive for humility, how to apologize and fix things, or even the difference between pride and just plain immaturity. I wasn't ready for you then. Okay. Okay, I'll humor you, fine. Look, in a perfect world where we could have met sooner and fallen in love and somehow still turned out to be exactly how we are now, together, solid and stable, of course I'd take it. In a heartbeat, yes, no questions asked. Baby, do you remember when we met and I gave you all those letters? And I told you I started writing them when I was 12. Do you remember? They were to you. I just didn't know what you looked like, or where you were, or how exactly you were. I just knew you were out there somewhere. I could feel your existence. So we didn't physically know each other yet, but I knew you. Just as almost an idea or a wish, but one that I knew was real and attainable. I just knew it. I did. Yeah. I dreamt about you all the time. I'd literally look forward to sleeping just because I knew I might see you. As weird as that sounds. No. No. Because you already know the story, you know. I dream about you, but I could only ever recognize your soul. Baby, you ask me this all the time, and every time I tell you it's so hard to explain. Because in my dreams, you were always changing appearances. Sometimes you'd change like 10 times in just one conversation. But your personality and our conversations, the telepathy and all that always stayed the same. That's how I was able to recognize you. I mean, yeah, thankfully. Because the 10 different bodies and physical features sure didn't make it easy. But you'd walk into a room and I could just feel you without even seeing you. I felt like my heart beat more peacefully. I could breathe with more ease. Colors were more vibrant. I could smile and mean it. I felt excitement without dread following it up, which, as you know, doesn't really happen very often for me. And then once I'd see you, as whoever you were dressed up as, because, my God, nothing else even mattered. You were the answer to making everything right inside of me and around me, just because you were there. You were just proof of life being worth living, in every way. Honestly, those were the only times I felt content and complete in life, up to those points. It's like the other half of me was right there, or the part of me that was missing, I guess. Of course I still feel that way about you. Of course I do. And this is exactly what I mean. Sometimes reality is better than we could have ever imagined. So much better. Like I got to feel all that ease and happiness and peace in my dreams because you were there, but eventually I'd have to wake up. And when I did, it wasn't good. It was always super disappointing. Because in your absence, all I had was the hope in knowing that you were real, but just far away still. We weren't ready to meet then. That's why I never got to see you. I only got to feel and experience you. Now, I get everything. So I don't really get stuck on that anymore. The whole meeting you sooner. For a long time I was. And this became my favorite movie because of that. The whole idealizing the fantasy of meeting earlier, knowing each other for a whole lifetime, then growing old together. It is sweet. It is, but I couldn't ask for anything more than what I have now without the risk of ending up with less. And I love you too much for that. Do you understand? Come here. You are so perfect. And the way and the time in which we met is just as perfect. Everything is exactly as it should be. Everything is amazing. Everything about you is amazing to me and for me. Even those things you perceive as flaws that cause you to make mistakes. Mistakes that you're entirely too hard on yourself for, by the way. But I'm equipped to handle them right now. We're at a place where we can take turns navigating and doing that with each other. And I think that's beautiful. And in the same space and time, you always know exactly when to take the wheel. Because sometimes I can't. And somehow you know this all without me even having to say a word. Sometimes without me even knowing it myself. What? No, baby. Nothing at all. I wouldn't change a thing from the start if it all led to you in the end. All the pain and confusion, the childhood, even the traumas. I swear to you I'd go through everything I've ever been through all over again if I knew you were waiting for me at the finish line. I love you that fucking much. More than anything else in this world. Look at me. You know that, right? You are the better half of me that brings out the best in me. And that's all I want to do for you in return, for the rest of our lives, and every lifetime after. I'd search for you and I'd find you and I'd do everything in my power to keep you happy and safe and loved in every lifetime. Because you deserve that kind of person and that kind of love and all of the good experiences that come with that. Every single one. Showing you a few of them in the present. As many as I can until you've had enough for the night at least.